Harry Knight, welcome to the show. How are we doing today?
Yeah, really good, man. Thank you for having me.
Likewise. It's been a conversation I've been wanting to have for a long time, and we've been friends for seems like a long period of time, but it's only 2 years. For you, just to begin things off, who are you? How do you help people?
Harry Knights, owner of Lean for Life Coaching. We specialise in getting effectively high-performing men who are time poor into the shape of their life without hours of cardio, restricted diets, those bits and pieces. We use our metabolic mastery method to help those guys get in the shape of their life.
Nice. Love it. And for you, just like kind of one thing I want to dive into at the start is we briefly touched off it off mic, but almost like what pushed you to where you are today? Because I've seen your journey from where you were. I remember the picture in my mind. And for you, the person you were before compared to now, how did you close that gap? How did you like bridge the gap overall to get you to where you want to be?
I'd say investing in knowledge, number one. We touched on it in previous podcasts, but if you can find someone who's ahead of you where you want to be, has walked the walk and is in the shoes that you kind of want to be in yourself, if you can pay someone to fast track and get close to that goal, 100% do it. So I think firstly was investing in myself, into fitness coaches, into the business coaches to help me get to where I am now. I don't know too much in terms of like mindset side of things, in terms of why I'm kind of like wired to have that sort of growth and want to succeed, but I just think I always want to be better every single day. I'm quite impatient. I'm always wanting to try and just strive towards various goals.
Love it. Has that always been the way?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't like school, but just wanted to get reasonable results just because I didn't like losing. I hated losing. I'm very competitive. Football background, played since the age of 6, hated losing. Could play my dad at table tennis when I was a kid, wouldn't want to lose. He's very competitive as well. So we just had those constant battles. I think I get that from him, but I just hate not succeeding, hate losing, always want to win, always want to try and achieve goals.
Love that, dude. It's you can tell that as well. It's like it's kind of like I'm gonna assume now that's actually works in your favor a lot in terms of business, in terms of your physique, because like you spoke about bar back as well. Like actually, you're pushing towards this goal, you're pushing towards that goal, and you never really stop. For you, one thing I want to dive into from the beginning is the impact of getting in shape, because I've seen you in this space time. Seeing you're twice the size you are today, which is insane. You're still lean, you're still jacked, and it's kind of like it's inspiring to see because I find most people with age, and you might have seen it as well growing up, they often you see them in their 20s, then late 20s get out of shape, and 30s get out even worse out of shape, and 40s get even worse. For you, like overall, how has fitness changed in terms of priorities in your list, and how's your approach changed to your own training, your nutrition, and your diet?
I think fitness and being in shape has always been a priority, whether that was from like when you first get started because you want to look good, want to feel good. Relationships, finding that partner, I think contributes to you trying to get in shape, and I was openly admit out of shape. You can see photos on my Instagram and everything. I was out of shape. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so how has like your approach to fitness changed since early 20s to now? And
I'd say I've just become more efficient with it. I now no longer can train 5-6 days a week, spend 2-3 hours in the gym, whereas I used to be able to. Now it's very much 3 sessions, maximum 45 minutes, get in, train with efficiency, train with impact, get in, get the job done and come out with results. Because we work at 70-hour weeks plus sometimes, longer than that, 12, 13, 14-hour days, right? It's ridiculous when you're running the business, but there's no need to not be in shape and still prioritize 45 minutes of your day to looking good, feeling good and performing. So I just say over time, I've just become more efficient with it, but it's always been a priority.
For many people that don't have it as a priority, where it's kind of like, because I think you came from a sporting background, right? You play football. And I think for some people, they have actually not been into fitness. They have to teach themselves a skill. What would your best advice be for them that are they're in their late 30s, they've put their career first, they've put other things first, and they found they've never been that fitness guy? What would be your best advice for them?
It's cliche in the fact that we're both fitness coaches, but I would 100% reach out and get a coach.
Completely agree.
Just, again, you can just fast track that to the goal. If you're not sure, you're on knowledge in terms of how to train the right way, how to diet, what foods to eat, how much to eat, when to eat, pay someone to get you that knowledge as fast as you possibly can, because it will impact your life in so many positive ways. You'll live longer, you'll feel healthier, you'll be able to chase after your kids, grandkids, you'll look great, you'll have confidence. If you work in those sort of environments where you want to feel good on delivering meetings, you know, in a suit, it's going to impact so many positive things. So why wouldn't you just pay someone, not a ridiculous amount, but you can pay someone to help you get that knowledge as fast as possible.
Yeah. How's life changed for you since you got in shape?
Confidence is the thing that sticks out the most.
Yeah. How's that?
I used to, I'd have to show you these photos, but I used to wear baggy, oversized t-shirts to hide skinny arms, the fact that I had that sort of skinny fat look. I had that like puffiness, like weight around the face. I had really bad skin. I was like younger as well. But focusing on my diet to clear everything up, to get in shape, training, it's just, so much more confidence in social settings, being able to find a partner, with my members, our clients, podcasts, content, being in front of the camera. I'd say if I didn't get in shape, I wouldn't be where I am today. So
Completely
it's
agree.
all stemmed from that.
Yeah, I'd say I'd kind of like completely vouch for that, because I think most people, like, it's cliche as fitness coaches that our body got us to where we are, not because we sell our physique, but because of like what that's allowed us to do. And it's like, I think most people don't really want to, they don't want the abs, they want what the abs gives to them. And it's like, it gives them a new identity, it gives them more respect, it gives them like a reason to wake up. As like, some people may not get that, but it's kind of like you wake up at the same time, you do these things at the same time, you eat at the same time, you eat these foods, you don't eat these foods. And it gives rules to live by. I think having rules to live by and like things that discipline you, keep you grounded, is probably the best way. Otherwise, you just float and like you just land at 40 and you're like, not sure what's happened. But I think fitness gives a lot of identity to a lot of people. And isn't the macro sense of daily routines, but macro because that routine just drives life forward a lot.
Yeah.
I can see. Out of curiosity, because I know you are someone that's very busy, which is, and the best part is you don't really, you manage it all well. You manage the fitness, you have time with your partner, you have downtime, you have uptime. Because you coach high performing men that probably are doing that, but they're also doing that at a deficit. They're burning out, they're getting worse and worse out of shape. Things like the hair's falling out, testosterone's dropping. What mistakes do you see people making that keep them stuck, and what would be your advice to get unstuck in that sense?
They go all or nothing. It's an all or nothing approach that they often try and find.
Yeah.
If they find themselves in that position where they're like, look, they openly want to try and change something. They want to try and get in shape and focus on their health and their fitness, but they just go for the wrong things. They go all or nothing with a super restrictive diet, keto, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Herbalife, carnivore, intermittent fasting, and fall off track so fast. And then they think, God, that didn't work for me. And then the journey ends there. And then maybe 6 months later or 12 months later, they would try the exact same thing again and just go around in that constant loop and that cycle.
100%.
Instead, if you don't have to go all or nothing. You can find that balance where, you know, you've got your family, you've got your work, you've got your career, and you've got your health and your body. Yeah. And if you can try and find a system that allows you to balance all of those, the other aspects of life are going to improve alongside of your body. We find that of all of our members. Family life improves. They're more present with kids. They're, you know, chasing their kids around the park more. They don't get out of breath doing those things. They perform well in their work. They get promotions. Their business is hitting new numbers. Yeah. That all stems from them making that change of being able to follow something that is much more balanced and fits their real life, rather than something that's just not sustainable.
Agreed. Yeah, it is like the only thing that you hit there as well. Is kind of that's what I see a lot of people do, and it's like that whole mentality of like, I need control of my situation to grow in here. Is that actually you're gonna grow in a scenario, or you're gonna have control of the scenario? It's like, I think the main thing that's probably like actually what keeps people stuck is they need predictability, they need guarantees, and they need like the fact that this is going to work because I'm going to pause these areas of my life so I can be in shape. And like you said as well, like on previous podcasts, is that you can actually, if you kind of like use the word conditions of your life to get in shape, then when the situations arise and get better, you'll get better. Whereby if things get worse and you get worse, then it's a yo-yo for the rest of your life. Whereby if you're in a place now where life's busy, there's social occasions, there's summer coming up, and you use that as a more of a reason to get in shape, and you do it regardless of conditions. Like, you don't need to have conditional success. It's unconditional. It's wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever the external scenarios are. For you, like, just kind of dive into some implementable things that you specifically do, because I want to like kind of uncover the veil. What is your daily routines like from a place of food, morning routines, evening routines?
I used to be a big morning routine guy,
Same. I'm
but
just like,
now I've completely got rid of it, and it's
same time.
alarm goes off, wake up, shower, hydrate, down at the desk, coffee, caffeinate, caffeinate before anything. We've had like 5 coffees already, but caffeinate 100%. Crack on 2-3 hours work, then head straight to the gym. I know that I do good deep work in the morning with some caffeine and being hydrated, deep work. Then I almost try and maximize what I can out of that hour, and then get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to get away from the desk, and that's when I go and train. So I go to the gym, 45 minutes in the gym, in, out, do the right things, have a program, smash it, come back, bit of food, protein, back at the desk. Broken up by some steps in the afternoon, then we're in for calls in the evening.
Nice.
It's not sexy, but that's how the day
works.
runs.
Absolutely. What made you change your morning routine? What was it previously?
Cold shower.
Was it actually?
I still cold shower now, I'll be honest. I love a cold shower, but it used to be like ice bath, cold shower, 10 pages, journal, stoicism. I think all of those things are important to a degree. Like, I still try and journal a little bit here and there, try and get things out of the head onto paper, I think works well. But I just think the most important thing now is just cracking on. I think it was Hormozy, is just get to work. Anything that you're doing that's not the work is not doing the work. So I just get down at the desk, coffee, water, and crack on.
100%. It's like Chris Williamson said about it. It was like thinking about doing it is not doing it.
Yeah.
And like that whole saying, I'm not going to butcher it because he does a
but
bad
I know
job.
what you mean, yeah.
It's like planning to do it isn't doing it, thinking about doing it isn't doing it, doing it is doing it.
Yeah.
And like what's funny there is because I think my routine is probably identical to yours. It's might as wake up, some form of activity. It's fine. I'm not sure if you ever like me. I wake up negative. There's a deficit. I'm not necessarily catching up, but I kind of wake up and have to put myself in a good mood.
Are you steps first thing?
Steps first
You
thing.
are.
30 minutes, 35 minutes actually, exact.
Interesting.
Timer. I put a 17 minutes, 30 seconds timer. Get there, get back,
Really?
and get straight into it. I find for me, I did do the whole read, journal, cold plunges and cold ice baths. I've done the cold showers. I find the benefit of cold showers quite interesting because it's you just jump in. And beyond that, I like to do pre-bed cold showers a little bit, but that's here and there. But it's pretty much like you said, get into it, get stuck in, and do the thing you need to do.
The cold shower thing for me is twofold. It's wake yourself up. Just need to. I'm a bit in the morning. I'm a bit ugh, but then cold shower wakes me up, sparks me out into that mood. But it's doing hard things. If I can start the day doing something that's, okay, we say it's a hard thing. It's not that hard in the grand scheme of things. But start the day doing something that's challenging, something that's hard that you don't really want to do, but putting yourself through it. Then anything else that comes that day, whether that's any challenges later on in the day, you've got yourself started by doing something hard in the morning that prepares you for those hard things in the rest of the day. If that makes sense.
Completely agree. Completely. I like the fact you said that because it's momentum stacking in a sense.
Yes.
It's you just stack the odds in your favor. It's a domino effect. And if you kind of it sounds bizarre, but even something if you wake up and you have a terrible breakfast or you skip breakfast, you are telling yourself you're busy right away. And the whole topic of being busy, I don't remember where this came from, but actually I remember I think it was the morning I was filming in London from Manchester. Drive up in the morning I think I left about 4:30 a.m. Drive there, get there for 9, film from 9 to 4. And then I was I can't be staying because you're going to have 2 days not to because you're traveling in the morning. So I was right, it's 4 p.m, travel back, got back at 8:30. And as soon as I got back and Dina was you tired? And I was do you know what, if I answer that and say I'm tired, I'm actually going to be tired. I was nah, I'm fine. And I think sometimes the power of just saying the right thing to yourself, and it's the whole thing of you reap what you sow, and what you experience in terms of your morning routine carries over to the rest of your day.
Yeah.
And you tell yourself even if you don't tell yourself verbally that you're doing hard things, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that kind of transfers over because then you don't actually have a negative way of approaching the rest of the day or carrying on life. Because one thing I see a lot of people doing, you actually may have a lot to say share on this, is people take the office home a lot. They finish their work, this typically happens for people that don't work out, by the way, which is quite interesting. They don't have any stress outlet, and working out is probably the best thing you could do for your mental health. But they wake up, they're tired, they go to work, they are completely serving. Gets to the end of the day, they've probably had meals and snacks here and there, lots of coffee, 5:30 comes, they're anxious, they're tired, they go home, they take out the family, and then everything kind of cripples apart over time. Like, for people that are consistently tired, diving this into a question, what would be your best next steps for them?
If they're constantly tired?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be counterintuitive, but you do need to work out. You might not have the energy and you're tired right now and you feel like you don't have the energy to work out. But as soon as you start stringing a few workouts together, you do find that you do have more energy day to day from working out. I would also just be looking at, right, simple things of like, are you going to bed at the same time? Are you waking up at the same time? Circadian rhythm. We laugh about coffee and we love coffee and I'm bad for it. I drink so much. But when you cutting that coffee out, 8 to 10 hours before bed, has to be. So that the actual sleep you get is quality, it's good sleep, not just quantity. So I'd say you definitely need to train. I'd be looking to get outside more, get some steps in, and I'd be looking at my actual routine in terms of time I go to sleep, when I wake up, and then my caffeine intake are the first things I kind of look at there.
Love that. Off topic and going into another transition, how important do you think it is for people to have their partner on the same page when they start a fitness journey?
I'd say it helps, but it's not a necessity. It's your body.
Love that.
It's your body. If you want to go on a fitness journey, you go on a fitness journey. If you want to live longer, you want to live longer. If you want to be a better person, you be the better person. I find too many people do rely too much on what their partner says, and that kind of like dictates what they
1,000%.
do. Yes, it helps if you can kind of like eat well together and you can go to the gym. Yeah, it's going to be beneficial. But like if you've got something to achieve and you want to get in shape and you want to focus on your fitness, you do that. You don't need to ask anyone else. You don't need to report to someone else. It's your journey.
1,000%. I think it's kind of like almost so easy to actually be like needing approval from them. And I think like you kind of just need to almost be like, this is what I'm doing. And you will find most of the time, like if you've done loads of failed diets before and your partner's seen it, they'll be like, oh, it's just another thing.
This is it.
And
I had someone last night I spoke with who's, funny enough, him and his son have joined the program.
Love that.
Which is awesome because they're going to do it together, right? But he actually said to me on the call, he said, my wife's saying, oh, it's just going to be another diet that you do and then you don't stick to it. And it was quite interesting because, yes, maybe his previous experiences have been negative when it comes to trying to get in shape, and therefore she deems trying to get in shape as negative, and it's just going to be another thing where it's just another, fad. But I was saying to him, I was kind of happy he said it and confident. I was like, look, mate, this will be the last one you ever do. You won't need anything else after this. You're going to get in great shape, you and your son, and you're going to kind of prove to your wife here that this wasn't just another fad. This is the right thing to do.
Best way to do it.
Yeah. So I'm buzzing for 3-6
That's
months'
going to be
time.
class as well. That's going to be part of the reel as well.
100%. 100%.
It's why do you think people have negative experience with fitness? Because I see a lot of times where they're like, I used to be into it, and it just got too much. Why do you think that happens?
It goes back to that all or nothing and restrictive, aggressive approaches. I think people deem fitness as cutting out things to focus on fitness, and that's just the wrong mindset. I think if you do that, it's never going to last and become a lifestyle. There's a reason it's lean for life, because we want you to get in shape, be lean for the rest of your life, not just for a 6-week cut for a holiday. It's not how it works. And I think if you don't have that all or nothing mindset and you actually build a lifestyle and a system around you which takes into consideration work and family, you can stick to that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think it's like the foundational piece of life. Like it's like mind, body, spirit. And it's people see it as like a pie chart. Like I have 30% this, 30% that, 40% this, and I have more of one or the other. But it's kind of like it stacks as well. It's like you don't necessarily have one without the other. And like the whole topic of like, how do you balance life? You don't balance it. You have harmony. Like, being in shape, happy career, happy family life. Your family life and having that in the pecking order will help you get in shape. So like almost, I think people chase like balance thinking they need like, because if you really look at the definition of balance, you've got 4 areas of your life, like body, balance, business, being. You put 25% in all these 4 areas, that's balance. It's never going to happen. You will be busy and work like 70-hour weeks sometimes. That's going to be 50% of your week. Does that mean you take it down?
I'm big on seasons.
Yeah, talk about that.
A season of this and a season of that. I think if we play 12 months out of a fitness journey for someone, there might be some sprints in there when you have a run of 10, 12 weeks where you can be kind of like sprinting, putting more eggs into the fitness basket. But then okay, you've got 2 work trips back to back, tons of flights, tons of meetings. Yeah, we might not be 10 out of 10 every single week with our fitness. But if we maybe just pull some eggs back, yeah, we know some eggs have to go into work and some commitments there, but we can still be an 8 out of 10. And it's maybe not a sprint, but it's a season of, yes, work, but it doesn't mean the whole fitness side has to go. It's just like, I'm big on seasons and sprints and different areas, but you don't have to be all or nothing. It's just, can we kind of move those eggs around and portion correctly into different aspects of life?
I love that. I don't know who said this analogy. I was going to say Dan Martin, but it's not Dan Martin. It's a philosopher. It's kind of like it kind of shows about the juggling act. You might have heard of it. It's like in life you've got glass balls and rubber balls, and the glass balls are like your health, your relationships, and your wealth. And like the rubber balls are things like social life, travel, like usually things that are like more wants than needs. And like you're juggling all of these, and the thing that people don't realize, they can drop some things like the rubber balls, they'll bounce back later on.
Nice.
And like the glass balls, if you drop, they shatter. So like I've kind of seen it as that. Is like for me, I remember it was from like 20 to 24. I didn't speak to like anyone. Like my day to day routine was the exact same.
Really?
I wouldn't like. I'd go out like twice. I go see friends like once a year, twice a year. I was very much like work and fitness and family, and not family, like work, fitness, work, career, all that sort of thing. And for me, it was almost like those are things I didn't want to sacrifice. And social life actually is better now because I've done that thing I need to do for myself.
Nice.
Like you just drop one aspect, realize it's going to bounce back, but these aspects you can't drop because they'll shatter, and you'll have to spend a lot of time fixing it.
I like that.
It's
a good analogy.
For you, going into Harry Knight himself, a little bit of a diving into the man, open Pandora's box. I'm looking forward to this answer. What's the hardest thing you've ever done?
My head straight away goes to, I'd say 2 things. One was retiring from football at a younger age than most, to focus on my business. Not because the last sort of year or 2 years of my football career, didn't enjoy it as much as I did in my earlier years. I knew I wanted to focus on my business and I wanted to build something incredible there. And I had my mindset was on that rather than the football. But my dad really wanted me to keep playing. That conversation of actually saying to him, like, I don't really want to play anymore, was so tough. Because I knew I could stop playing and it wouldn't impact too much because I didn't enjoy it as much as I did. But he lived for those Saturdays, like watching me play. He'd watch me every single week on a Saturday and a Sunday at times from when I played both days younger. Every single week, he would never miss a game. And me saying, look, I'm going to A, move to Dubai, B, stop playing football, and kind of take that away from you that was really tough. That was tough.
I can imagine that. That's a big change as well, and both happen at the same time as well, right?
Yeah. Moving abroad is obviously, and I don't think I'll be here forever. I think England will always be home, but moving abroad and moving away from family is never easy.
100%.
But I know that I'm on like a mission here, and I know if I succeed on that mission, my family are going to benefit as well. So it's that take away from them currently, but to be able to give back in the future is the way I kind of see it.
Yeah, it's pay the price now, and you can pay the price later, sort of thing. Yeah, I didn't know that actually. That's wild.
Mate, yeah, tough.
You can imagine that's kind of like part of again going forward, like part of the things you actually have like conversation with your dad with, and that's such a have you shared that publicly before?
Not really like publicly. Small conversations with family. Yeah, it was not an easy decision, but it's one that I feel like I needed to make. But yeah, it impacted him, I think, quite a bit.
For you, like, because you're 25 now, and growing up, I'm going to assume, I'm not going to assume, I bet it is like actually, like you probably had beliefs before that you don't have now. What is a belief in your 20s that you had that would completely shatter where you are today?
That's a tough question. A belief that I had in my 20s that I no longer believe now.
That if you still believe it now, would break everything apart.
Ooh. I kind of believed that I could do everything myself when I was younger, and now I realise that you kind of do need the right people around you, a team, partner, friends. I think it's I can't remember the name of the author. The book basically is so this is the one book that I can never remember the name of, but it's might be Who Not How,
Oh yeah, Simon Sinek, I think.
where it's basically all about
No,
like
it's not Simon Sinek. I know what you mean.
about
I've heard the
hiring,
book.
about building
Yeah.
a team around you, and how you can get better leverage
Yeah,
that
I
way.
feel that.
I used to think I could do everything myself. I still try and do a lot of things myself that I shouldn't, but I think building a team around me has been a big play that's
Yeah.
benefited things massively.
Who would you say like one or two people that contribute most to where you are today?
Who?
You can give names as well.
I definitely say my family, mum and dad, my partner Angel as well, because she moved here without like I really don't think she wanted to, but she knew it was the decision that I kind of wanted to make, and I've always said to her, look, just let this is the smart decision for now, which will give us the future later. So mum, dad, Angel have definitely been big players in this. I'd like to thank my business teacher from my A-levels and GCSEs as well. He was an absolute legend. He wasn't just a typical business teacher who's never had a business. This is what happened at university, as you were being taught business, and at A-level I was being taught business by people who would never run a business. But this guy, my business teacher, GCSEs and a bit of A-level, very successful businessman. And I think he showed me a lot. He was really cool guy. I say those guys, obviously the mentors, Charlie, and I think like the peers around me as well have been massive. Yourself and the guys that we communicate with on a regular basis.
It's kind of because it's funny because looking back, it's like I think the people you hang around completely shape your future massively. And there's a whole saying where it's like if you're in the barbershop for long enough, you'll eventually get a haircut. And it's like you'll eventually start doing habits that everyone else will, or you'll leave the crowd. There's no in between. And I think people tend to like kind of be negotiable with that. So I've got these friends, they're just the same people that go down the pub that completely just sabotage on the weekends, and I'll never get to that. And then years later, they get to that.
I have a group of friends who I see maybe once, twice a year, friends from school, university. If I was to go and see them in 3 years' time, they'd be making the same jokes and same conversations as...
Nothing changes.
Yeah. Which isn't... And it's not a bad thing. Like, when I go and see them, it's great. We have great times and everything. But it is the same conversations, the same jokes. And
100%.
I'd ask you a question about that. Do you feel like you... In order to get where you want to be and evolve as a person, do you feel like you have to evolve in terms of the people that you hang around with in your circles?
I think it's happened naturally, just like people actually spend time around. Like, to be honest, what's funny is in college, I tried to make everyone my friend in a sense. And like, I wanted to be friends with people. And there was times actually, not many people, I've never spoke about this, but actually like, I actually go home because I didn't have friends sometimes. Wow. It was quite wild. Like high school was different because it's quite close and intimate. College is like, you need some people, but you don't know who your tribe is.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time kind of like just not sure who I was. I was around completely different crowds. And I think over time, like the advice I got given by one of my coaches, Mike Castelli, was like, I asked him, I was like, dude, I feel like I spend all my time by myself, early 20s, and I'm not gonna say I don't have friends, I have friends, but like I just don't feel like they're my people. And it was like his advice for me was actually like, you just naturally attract the people that you'll end up doing similar things with, and some people that you don't do similar things with, they may still be there, and it just happens automatically.
You don't force it.
You don't really force it, right? I think like the whole like you are your networking people. I think it just happens. Like you casually just go on a crossroads and you meet people on the same crossroads, and sometimes it drifts off and sometimes it goes the same direction. But I think like there's people in my life that have been bridges. Do you know the definition of a bridge? Like in terms of person?
No.
It's like someone that connects you from your previous life to now.
Okay.
Or like your previous life to your current life. And like there's been people that I'm like socially, I knew they were above a bridge and like it was a good bridge, I'll cross it, and like they've helped me become better in some aspects. But like now this is the next bridge we're going for. And I think that's kind of like how it's shaped, is not because I've broken away. I still see these people here and there, like every few years.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed, like you said, which is quite interesting. But like, I find it just happens automatically.
Yeah.
You just spend time with people that end up doing similar things.
Yeah.
Or you'll do something and you'll find your people.
It's like I joined our business mastermind for myself, for my business to scale.
Yeah.
But along that journey, we've
We
met
yeah,
other people in that group we've become friends with.
100%.
We didn't join the group to find friends, but we found those friends naturally because we were all on a similar path and a similar journey.
Yeah, 100%. It's do you know, like the whole thing of kind of like diving into people you look up to? If you had to list the top 3 people you look up to that you admire the traits of, who would that be? Why would it be them?
Wow. You should really make me prepare. You should give me these in advance.
You asked for the questions Friday. I was like, just hold it back.
God, you're from, because there's lots of people that my head's going straight to, but then there's elements of like what I like about them and maybe other aspects that I'm like from an intelligence point of view and like a business point of view and just pure knowledge. Straight away I look at Alex Hormozy, but then I look at that life of where there is, he openly says like, I don't want balance, holidays, I don't like, he doesn't enjoy those things. And so then there's that aspect of that kind of life and person that maybe you don't kind of really want.
Yeah.
But his knowledge and wisdom and
Philosophy.
and
Yeah, completely.
it's phenomenal.
Agreed.
I've got to try and find 2 other people. Leave that one with me, and I'm going to loop back round. I'm going to try and subconsciously think, but that's...
I think if I was going to list mine, Gerard Adams, he's old school. He's kind of like still here, like a person development coach. I remember one thing he said to me, because like one thing I took away from him is he's always smiling.
Okay.
Like he's never not smiling. Even if he's in a bad mood, he's always like, you know what, it might be, if I smile today, a door will open. And like he said something that stuck with me is actually, a man isn't a man unless he look after the family. And that stuck with me a lot. Another person would actually be, who was it? I was literally about to get it there. I value honesty and congruency as well quite a lot. I actually kind of like to see it as like you get what you see in a sense. I forgot who the person, I literally forgot the name now.
It's annoying.
Again, that probably happened to you a second ago,
Yeah.
but I find like the attributes I admire is like someone's got this relationship, someone's got that, which is quite nice as well. Actually, Grant and Celeste, like I kind of love the fact they're very much on the same page. Celeste and Grant, obviously they're in the US, life coaching. Celeste used to be in WWE, and like I kind of love the dynamic a lot because like they both were on the same page. It was almost like you get a duplicate. And I found they actually were like very much what you get. Like they're very much go-giving, always asking, like speaking to the other person, and like always trying to like make other people know they're available for them, that they care about. So I think almost like the aspects of like you do anything you can for the people you care. That was another one. And then I don't know what the third one is. A good question to be honest. I understand why you're exactly.
I'll text you
Midnight.
tonight. I'll have a really
So I
real
found
deep
it.
thing.
I was
Yeah,
like-
I've got it now. Got the answer. Just hit record.
Do you struggle to sleep? Because you've
No.
got so many things in life to look forward to.
It's a good way of looking at it. No, you can ask Angel, I'm a great sleeper. I literally, because I feel like I work hard that by the time literally my head hits the pillow, I'm out like a light.
Set.
I don't really struggle to get to sleep.
It's because like it's funny because I'm like, this is stupid. I have to sleep. Like, why can't I stay up and then just carry on?
I do find that I'm like, I don't
It's
really
like I'm
want
like, what
to.
the hell? It's 10 p.m. Like, can we not just keep on going?
Yeah. Got your blue light blocking glasses on. It's
Literally.
like 10 p.m. and you're like,
Do like see before and with daffodil as you do. What's next for you?
what is next? There's a few things I'm working on that let me continue working on, and I'll
Exactly. I love that.
eventually. Yeah, I don't like saying things before. I like to just work on things in private, and then what's the saying? Let work on things in private. Let success be the noise.
Yeah. Let other
But-
people speak about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few things that I'll tell you, but I'd say I just want to, from like a pure like a physique and fitness point of view. This is a year of looking good, feeling good, and performing well. I really want to get that performance back. I feel like sometimes you chase the look as so much, But I really want to be able to move well. I want to, like you've probably seen, I did the half marathon a few months back. I did the high rocks recently. That's not because I'm going to be hybrid, but I just want to perform well and be fit and know that I'm physically capable. Rather than just looking good in a shot, in a photo, and walking down the street and looking all right, I want to be able to perform super well. And I think from football, we had that naturally. You're running lots, you're an athlete. As soon as football stopped, I realised that kind of performance element, I lost a bit, so I'm really trying to get that back.
Class. Just to wrap up the show, normally the way we finish it off is we've got a question.
Been dreading this, by the way. I'm scared about this one.
I actually enjoy this part. So we always have the last guest ask the next guest in the question. We just met JP a second ago and obviously had a brief conversation there. JP's question for you is, let's say there's no chance of failure. You're going to get no judgment from yourself. You have full and ultimate belief that you can do it. What goals you set? What you set your eyes on?
I want my ethos around fitness and getting in shape for men to become a household name.
Class.
I want, when people say, how did you get in shape? And they say that particular brand, that particular name. I want to make sure that Lean for Life and the Metabolic Mastery Method is a method that is a household name. So when you look at a guy who's 45, who runs multiple businesses, a couple of kids, and a great family around him, and he's in unbelievable shape, it's because he used our method.
How do you know once you get there?
How would you know? I think when you'll know, when it happens, you'll know.
Class.
When it happens, you'll know.
Yeah, class. Love it, dude. It's been a blast, and it's been a long time coming. It's quite funny because we've known each other for a while, and having this conversation in the mag, we actually planned to do it 2 years ago.
Yeah, what
like we through Instagram DM, like let's do a podcast. Yeah, let's do it.
That'd
and
be
then
cool.
We are 2 years later. It's probably around next month. I think we had a chat about it, and we were let's get on in, and finally got it in. So it's been a blast, and it's been a conversation we've actually been due to have. So
I've really enjoyed it. Definitely have to do it again.
100%. For you, just to wrap up, what's your question for the next person? It's going to be Ben Bray.
Do we say it live?
Yeah, let's do it. He won't know until his podcast is done.
So Ben.
Yeah.
There's two ways I could actually go about this. There's two ways. For context, Ben was meant to be my High Rocks partner a few weeks back. Got injured. Okay, he got injured. So I'll let that one slide. I'll let that slide.
2 questions.
How does he want to be remembered? When all is said and done, how does Ben want to be remembered?
Class. Love it.
Appreciate it, dude.
It's a blast, bro. Look forward to the next one, and we're definitely going to get another one in. Wait for a while, and it's still building everything together.
100%, man. Thank you.
Let's do it.